reason the soldiers were able to enter the city was, I think, a typically Indian one. The Hindus of the city went to the Yamuna for their morning bath, and they insisted that the Rajghat gate be opened, and they streamed out, not noticing or bothering that the soldiers were rushing in. Once the soldiers came in, they headed for Daryaganj, where many of the Europeans lived, and a little detachment of them, it is reported, went south and opened the jail gates. The jail and the asylum probably did not, you might be able to contradict me in this, may not have appeared distinct to them. Madmen were locked up for the same reason as criminals, because they were dangerous. Now this old city was separated from its hinterland after the mutiny, when the British cleared 500 yards around the wall for possible military action. But that time, the hospital, the insane hospital, begins its existence. At that time, this wall was not a barrier. The Delhi gate was merely a convenient point for collecting toll taxes. Daryaganj had been part of Firoz Shah Tughlaq's Delhi, as was borne out by the Masjid Kalan, if you know it, which is inside Shah Jahan's city, but is very much a Tughlaq building. Also on the southern rim was the shrine of Shah Turkman Gate, and a big tank. Across the Mathura road was the considerable remains of the fort of Firoz Shah Kotla, which was a large part of it was there, much of which was demolished in 1858. Beyond the jail was the historic Dera of Mata Sundari, the wife of Singh, and Mahabat Khan's Haveli, including the Reti. This is the sandy area between his house and the river, where people used to go and fly kites.
In a sense, 65 years after the ransacking of the attack on the Bastille, this is one of the events, or one of the first events of rebellion in the city of Delhi, which is something that we seem to have completely forgotten. It has been erased from public memory, and given the fact that it is this date in 1857, we thought it's something that is worth bringing to light. Now the interesting thing is why. When for example the histories of mental hospitals are written, histories of Ranchi goes back a really long way, the history of the Madras Mental Hospital goes back a really long way, the histories of Tezpur go back a long way. And as I said, the history of Delhi in all official histories actually seems to start with Shahdara. And the fact of the matter is that there is a huge amount of information, of resource, which tells us about the hospital or the various hospitals in Delhi, which we are briefly going to run through with you. We are going to talk a little bit about what we know about these histories. They are scattered bits, but Sanjeev and I have found them fascinating, and we'd love you to indulge us and share with us as we meander through some of these histories.
The former asylum was taken over as a jail, and all these accommodation is provided back in Chandni Chowk after the mutiny at the bottom, which is what Narayani referred to, and the Queen's Gardens. Within a few weeks of the so-called, just before the ending of the mutiny, we somehow find references to the re-establishment of the asylum. Now this is something that has bothered us, because technically the British break through into Delhi only in September 1857. But we have this little note which says the lunatic asylum has been re-established on 8 August 1857. And immediately they start trying to, in a sense, things are back to normal. So a Pandit is employed to teach the prisoners in the jail, which is a pretty interesting idea, to have somebody actually trying to, the beginnings of social therapy and better environments for the patients. You also have details. You also have specific details on the 11th of May 1857, all the insane patients in Delhi escaped or were set free and were never ever recovered. And Dr. Balfour found accommodation for these in a house between Chandni Chowk and the Queen's Garden, which is just a repetition. Now, at this point in time, during the mutiny, there are also accounts from Muhammad Farooqi's book, who talks about the baker for the lunatic asylum having disappeared, and the fact that bread can no longer be baked, and therefore 2 lunatics are also arrested for spying, and people who are walking around in a suspicious manner muttering to themselves can always be taken for spies. I hope there's nobody from the building at the other end of this road around. But these kinds of nuisance value of the asylum patients, so at least we have some connection that the patients who were set free had found their way back into the walled city and were wandering around.